Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry Gamers.
Hello, 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 and welcome, boys and girls, to the 100th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and Audio Technica. I am your extremely humbled host today, Brendan White, who can be found everywhere at Brendan 8bit. Joined today, my two partners in crime, in no order of preference, Miss Ali Hart, who can be found at Miss Ali Hart, and Salim Abraham, who can be found at Salim TD. How yous doing today? It's goddamn episode 100. We made it.
Woo!
Yeah!
Happy 100
We're still
episodes!
Woo!
Ow! My goodness. That energy.
The obligatory catcalling and yelling and screaming. Happy 100 episodes, guys.
Happy 100
And
episodes.
I only feel like it's been 60 episodes. That's how good my podcast back is feeling right now. I'm feeling sprightly, about ready to retire, but we're still going.
Bit of zest. Yeah. It's honestly hard to believe. I don't know if it's because I haven't been here for the full slog, but
Close,
100.
Absolutely close to the full slog. If not the full slog. Like, you might be, 9 episodes off?
You joined in, Ali, around episode 10. I remember
Really?
very, very, very clearly our Whispers of Paragon episode that us three did, remember? And there was paragons everywhere.
Hey, our podcast has outlived Paragon.
It has.
Think about that. The game was birthed and died within our 100 episodes.
And sadly, we are not sort of, I guess, epic as a whole, where they've just went, you know what, we don't need to support Paragon anymore. We're making all this quiche from Fortnite, so we're going to support that. Sadly, we haven't found or created our Fortnite yet, but just watch out. We've got some coals in the fire, people.
Yeah, just waiting for one to pop.
Need those microtransactions.
Yeah, goddamn them. So yeah, it's been 100 episodes. Yeah, we've been on a hell of a ride. Learnt a few things, maybe a lot. Some might say, I don't know. But yeah, it's been a journey, and it's been a hell of a lot of fun. Is there anything, when you guys sort of look back over this sort of 100 episode podcast cycle, that you remember fondly, or there's a best or worst memory or thought that comes to mind?
Ali, I'll let you
Oh,
start.
gosh. Oh, where to begin?
It's all been bad.
I'm trying to think when was the first time I sassed Sam, where our little love-hate relationship kind of started.
It probably happened about 30 seconds after you said hello, before we were even recording. It was like when you just walked into the room together.
Probably.
Or when we were getting our morning coffee.
You know what? I remember the first time I met Sam. It was with the podcast. We jumped into that really hot, small room, and Sam was wearing really tiny shorts. I was like, okay.
That sounds about right.
Well, don't stop. What'd you think? You obviously stuck around for 90 more episodes.
Thought, I'm like, you guys had warned me about how hot that room was, and I saw you in the tiniest shorts. I'm like, I'm not sure if this is a depiction of how hot this room gets, or if this is just this guy. Turns out it was a bit of both.
It certainly was a bit of both, and I think that's probably been a consistent sort of theme that the Hungry Gamers have sort of dealt with through this, 2 and a little bit year life cycle, where we have brought the hot takes, both verbally and physically in Sam's case, in those little Daisy Dukes. But it's been fun.
Great shorts. I maintain they were great shorts. I still own them.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I know exactly the pair.
Yeah.
I whip them out just on special occasions.
Well, it's the 100th. Let's go.
I'm actually not wearing shorts because it's very hot where I am right now.
You're in the togs.
Anyway, I'll leave that visual note for the listeners while I reflect on maybe what is the fun part, the best part maybe of this over the last 100 odd episodes. It blows my mind that how many people we've met through it, and how do I put it? Just how easy it is to do this. And I don't want to say that with any sort of pride or anything like that. Like, I'm not trying to be boastful, or is that boastful? Boastful's the word?
Yeah.
I just mean that when we were on the other end of this 100 episodes ago, this was just a really good idea, and that was it at best. And by really good, I just mean something we all really wanted to do. And then it slowly evolved, and it seemed to pick up a little bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden, people are engaging us about content that we're putting out, and that to me blows my mind. I always thought that if people were listening, it's worth doing, and that's its own reward, really. And I still stick by that. I love that we have people who have become really good friends, regularly reach out to us about this. And also to be able to participate in the things that they do creatively, or also just about the things we love, gaming, just being able to kind of go and chill with these people. So that for me has been more than anything in the last 2 and a bit years to do with the podcast. That didn't even make English at the end there, did it? Didn't make English.
It made good English.
I love you all is what I'm trying to say. And thank you for listening.
Yeah, I'm of a similar mindset to both of yourselves there. Sort of pretty well just mirroring exactly sort of the good vibes that you both are putting out. Like, it's been very humbling and emotional. Putting yourself out, like, not really, I guess bearing your soul is a bit of overkill, but throwing your thoughts out into the ether for the entire world to hypothetically judge at a whim, anonymously too, if they want to. Looking at you, random 1-star iTunes reviewer. But
the notorious 1-star that's been under your skin for like the last year and a half.
It irks me to this day. But it's just little things like what you guys said, like the friendships we've not only made from fellow content creators, from fans, but I think also the friendships that we have been strengthened due to this. Sharing that creative thought process and the roller coaster of trying to put out good content week in and week out. Like, it's testing, and I think we've become better people for it. I personally feel better for it. Even just things like sort of public speaking and things now, like doing presentations. It's easier again because we do this on the regular. And yeah, every one of our listeners, whether it be vocal or silent listeners, you mean the world. You take the time to tune in every week. You take the time to write reviews and subscribe and share our disjointed, banter-laden message to the masses. And like we've had some ups and downs, and I couldn't have done this without yourselves. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we couldn't have done this without our boy Reese Kirby as well. Shout
Absolutely.
out to Turbo _ who is now a budding sort of neo trad tattooist. You should check him out on the Insta. It's actually pretty impressive shit. He helped steer the ship to where it was today. So it's been a very collective effort, and it'll continue to be as this thing evolves and changes as we work our way to episode 200.
Now, the question on everyone's lips for this big 100th episode was, will we be playing Clan or Sham?
It is certainly one of the
question?
biggest water cooler discussions I've heard around the office spaces the past week or so. I can confirm there will be a return of Claire Norsham later in this episode.
Oh.
Get ready, Ali.
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, so Ali is going to be playing Claire Norsham for the first time, but I think myself and Sam will be equally as rusty. But it's going to be a hell of a time. And this episode as a whole, we wanted to try and make it a hell of a time. It's sort of a fork in the road, so to speak, with the Hungry Games, where we're sort of standing here, we're looking back, reflecting on times that were, we're talking about times that are, and we're also going to talk about times that may or may not be in the future. We've got a whole host of fantastic guests, fantastic friends of ours. We've also got some pretty funky roasts that a few people have sent in, giving their niceties and not so niceties about us, and we will intersect those between some other segments. We've got the powwow between Salim the Dream and Moo Moo. Who murks who? You'll have to stay tuned in to find out. But it's a pretty jam-packed episode, so it may go for a while. So I'm not even going to apologise. Just sit down and strap in and enjoy yourselves. It's going to be a bloody belter. Is there anything else you two want to say before we maybe move into our first segment of episode 100?
If I cry, then we're in for another winter. Sorry, it's like...
What?
I was trying to do a Groundhog Day like reference.
Oh, I got it.
Sorry.
I just don't know if I could hack one, given that we're not even in the first winter of this year.
Oh, let's be old people and talk about the weather right now. No, I just think it's going to be good. I look forward to this reflection.
What about you, Dream? Anything else you want to say, or should we just kick this baby off?
I'm going to let our lovely friends and family who are on this episode do the talking for me. So strap in and have fun.
All right, 8-Bit Nation, enjoy this first roast, and we'll be back shortly.
Hey, Hungry Gamers.
What was that?
It's Michael and Tegan here, your friends from Reset.
Hello.
Hey, you guys are shit.
They're not that bad.
Hey, Brendan, Horizon Zero Dawn sucks. I'd say you were just like a PlayStation fanboy, but that's certainly not the case. And lucky for you, though, the Xbox One is the clear winner in this console generation, so you can at least save some face, right?
I'm pretty sure he's moved to PC gaming.
But I mean as far as the consoles go.
Oh,
he
right.
loves the X-Bone.
Yeah, well.
Smart move. Hey, Sam, have you played the new Busby game yet? I hear it's great. Teagues liked it, so that's something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Ali, play The Last of Us. How about that?
No, she's too busy doing customer service games, Mike. Leave her alone.
Customer service and sexy games. Play The Last of Us. Hey, you know what? Get NATO on more episodes, because his whole... fun-loving nature manages to steer me away from Suicide Watch while I'm listening to you guys. So
I feel like if they're taking you that close to the edge, you need to just stop listening, Michael.
Oh, and your new theme song is shit.
Oh, I don't know who wrote that, but that is bad.
Yeah, change it back to the old one, you freaking idiots. Is that enough? Is that bad enough?
I don't know what you're trying to achieve here, really.
Well, it's a roast, so, I mean, that's the idea, right?
Oh, I probably should have prepared.
Oh, we love you guys. No? Congratulations on the 100th.
Indeed.
Bye.
Alright, 8-Bit Nation, welcome back. We are here today, again, with Miss Ali Hart, who obviously can be found at Miss Ali Hart. And joining us for this first segment, NATO J, who was formerly known as NATO J18, is now I Know NATO. We know NATO very well on this podcast. No doubt you listeners have too. Welcome back, NATO. Welcome back, Ali. How you doing tonight on this 100th episode of the Hungry Games podcast?
I've demolished half a bag of Skittles.
Yes!
Ooh.
Yes! That's the alley I
am
want to see.
tasting the rainbow.
It just makes me think of sex things when I hear that statement these days.
Tasting the
Well,
rainbow.
did you, everyone's seen that, ad that got banned with,
the honeymooning couple?
yeah, and then, it just jizzes the rainbow Skittles all over the girl, and, God, good times.
Someone did a really in-depth analysis of the one with the poor guy where everything he touches,
Turns to
turns to
Skittles.
Skittles.
Ah, that was a great ad.
And
And he
it
was
was like-
working in the office.
Yeah, they're like, think about how morbid his life is. Like, he touched his like kid, and his kid turned into Skittles. He killed his
Hey,
child.
you-
He probably killed his first
You
girlfriend.
never know. It'd just be like, well, I'm sick of you, boing.
And you know what? Like, on that topic, like, he probably didn't want that kid and tried to have, like, protected sex, slid that condom on, turned to Skittles, so, you know, it just happened anyway. So, you know, he's been struggling since birth, that poor
Yeah.
fella.
I wonder at what stage he realizes that he literally can't touch anything. But he's sitting on a chair, so when his ass turned... Oh, no, his clothes.
Yeah.
No, his clothes have turned to Skittles. There's
Exactly.
a flaw in this.
There is some holes in that,
We found it already.
in that story.
Unless someone else dresses him. I don't know.
I wonder, like, when his hair gets long and it sort of folds around back on itself and touches his face, would it become, like, little Skittle residues? Or, like, if he pisses and he holds his penis, has he got Skittle
Oh,
dick?
could you imagine
know.
Skittle Dick?
Hashtag Skittle Dick. Taste the rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
Good time.
Hey, baby.
My favourites are the green and the yellow Skittles.
I would be with you on the green, but I'm a purple fan. Great.
I'm a lemon. I like my lemons.
And how?
Yeah, so we're here for this 100th episode. I thought I'd bring my two favourite people on for this segment. Dream, it's no secret that you're a distant third here, but, you know, I still love you nonetheless.
I don't.
But
I can't even believe he wouldn't. He'd rather just go out and be with floozies and guys and stuff like that instead of his beautiful boy NATO.
I know, it was... No doubt he probably tossed and turned and is still probably dealing with the anguish of not being here tonight, sort of seeing that cheeky grin on the other side of this webcam and listening to this witty banter. But, you know, the dream is living the dream now, apparently. So power to him. But, yeah, I thought I'd bring my
Doing
favourites
some other kind
here
of
on.
tossing and turning.
You know, among some of these circles, these are my two favourite children, for lack of a better term. But I just wanted to get yous both on, shoot the shit, because we shoot some pretty good shit together, I think. The powers of three will set you free. Is that what they say on Charmed? Is that the
I
one?
think so.
I think so.
I miss you. Isn't that supposed to be getting rebooted?
Shotgun Rose McGowan.
Oh,
Can I always wanted to be Piper. Holly Mary Combs, I think, is a real
yeah.
name.
What's the?
Oh, wait, Alyssa... Wait,
Yeah, Alyssa Milano. Yeah, that's
I don't
shotgun. That
want
wasn't
Alyssa Milano.
shotgun Milano. Yes.
Yeah, if I wasn't going to go Rose, I was probably
look,
going to be Alyssa.
just saying one thing. Like, look, for the dirty ones out, for the nice, innocent, virgin people out there, block your ears for this next segment. But look, Alyssa Milano, go check out Embrace of the Vampire. Amazing movie. Terrible movie. Amazing movie. If you understand I'm winking to the camera right now, audio listeners. All right.
She's done a few nudie scenes over the years, Alyssa Milano.
Oh, yeah.
Is she in that weird stalker one?
Maybe.
With
Maybe in real life
Marky
she's
Mark?
now. Who knows? But little fact before we move on, she was actually Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter in Commando.
Yeah, she was too. Oh, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied.
Take time to cool off. But anyway, we're here. I wanted to sort of peel back the curtain on where you two lovely individuals have sort of came in and fitted into this hungry 8-bit conjointed sexy family puzzle, and get maybe your opinions on things, where you think things may go, and just maybe, I don't know, any factoids or thoughts you both want to throw out there before maybe at the end I decide, as per Sam's agenda is written here, who my favourite child is. So
Ooh,
stay
some
tuned for the end of this
rivalry
segment.
here. Pretty cool.
I'll give you money. Just choose me.
You volunteered to start? Yeah, no worries.
So we're like where I came into it. Well, I actually accidentally bumped into you in San Fran. That's actually where like our journey started. You had gone over for the community kind of like live show of Kind of Funny, and I don't know if I've told it on here, but I've told it somewhere. But like, I literally thought you were American the first time I met you because it was so loud at the Foundry Club we were in. Because like, you dress like an American, like you have that like American lumberjack kind of outfit most of the time. So like,
Yeah, I think I was in a flanny and chinos the first night we
Yeah.
met. So
And you had the beanie, and you had like the American like hipster beard kind of setup looking and stuff like that. That I was
he called it hipster.
So yeah, I had casual chats with you. Like I could understand what you're saying, but I couldn't hear the Australian accent. So like I never like I was like, oh, just another American. He's a nice guy and stuff like that. And it wasn't till I think the final day when they got all the Australians in for a photo that I like turned and looked and I was like, oh shit, he's an Australian. Like I better actually like talk to him more because like I wanted to meet more Australians and stuff like that because like I hadn't been like much involved with like the Australian like community in recent years. So like I was like, oh well, I might as well get back into it. And yeah, so I started talking to you, got to know you a bit, and then I started listening to your pod because I like listening to people's pods to see how they are, and then didn't realize how big of a pod it actually was. And then I just remember one episode you were like, oh, I still haven't played PUBG, and I was like this guy. So I instantly messaged you and I was like, this week we're playing PUBG together. And you're like, oh, yeah, all right. And then one day we finally got together. And then I just remember it as clear as the first day. You jumping out of the plane, me jumping out of the plane. I land and I'm like, I look around and I'm like, Brendan, where are you? And you're like, I'm still up in the air. And I'm like, oh, you must have just taken his time to float down. But like the game... I've never heard anyone else happening to, but Brendan, every time he used to jump out of the plane, his parachute would freeze him in the air and he would get stuck in the air. And he would have to, like, pull his chute to fall to the ground, die, I'd have to res him, and that's how we would have to start every game. And that's how, I was introduced into Brendan.
Those cheating mods.
It was rough. Yeah, my pay to win mods, my microtransaction-esque mods were not up to snuff in PUBG. It was a slippery slope in those first games because I'm still fairly noobish in a lot of PC games, and jumping into sort of a quick twitchy shooter, or not maybe quick twitch, but obviously you're still going to be pretty hefty on the mouse, and then I can't even get to the fucking ground, and I'm levitating 50 meters in the sky. It was a hell of a way to cut my teeth on PUBG, but we had some fun. I don't think we didn't get any dinners, but it was just chaos.
No, you after a while, because that's how I was introduced into Ali. Ali came and played with us in groups and stuff like that. But then eventually, you abandoned us both to go play with Rachel and her shooter friends to try and earn some chicken dinners because we weren't good enough for you. So that's how I started playing more and more with Ali because we were the abandoned children, pretty much.
We were. Please. Can we note that it's probably recorded on one of the podcasts how offended I was because I was raving about PUBG, saying we all need to play, and I found out that Brendan cheated and just started playing with someone else first. Like,
I know my moral decisions with gaming sometimes are cloudy at best, I guess you could say. They're spur of the moment snap decisions. I sort of add up all the parts and think what is going to be the best way for me to find success here. And it just so happened the NATO thing. We were having a hell of a time, but I
remember watching some streams.
Yeah,
of you two playing.
It was wild.
It was not good.
Yeah. It was like the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, combining to just have all kinds of insane adventures. It was like watching some bizarro 90s action film.
Yes.
Where it's just explosions and giant motorbike jumps and puns and weird gunfire.
Yes, like a Starsky and Hutch kind of setup.
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
And it's still been some of the best time I've had playing the old pub with you guys. Sadly, I think I've only got 4 chicken dinners still. So it's still pretty lean, slim pickings out there as far as the structured games go. But it's funny, sort of doubling back or going back full circle to when I met NATO. I remember he was just this continuous ball of energy. He was like the pinball of kind of funny at those events. Like, I'd look over and he would have bounced over there and he's talking highly animated to random people over there. Then he'd bounce here and off that bumper and talking to them people, and he's zinging around the room in his little short sleeve button up florally shirt. Dapper as hell. He's always got his little curly quiff going on and his cheeky smile, and yeah, he had some infectious energy. And like, you know, when you sort of, and I'll probably sort of mirror a lot of these things when talking about Ali and I guess to an extent Dream, because I have to. It's like, you know, when you just sort of meet certain people and you sort of have that first time discussion, you just go, yeah, you're all right. Like, we can be doing this for a while. Like, you just think, yeah, these guys are going to be in my life for a while in one way or another. And if you can make things creatively together, I think it makes it a lot better. And this sort of trio here right now in question, I think, you know, there's just a natural understanding, almost unspoken, with how things go and thought processes and shenanigans, and knowing that there really isn't that many lines that we can't cross. Obviously, there's a few, but
it's a very, very fine line, and we've danced over it many a time.
Oh yeah, and that's in. It's like, you know, the cheeky little kid where it's like, don't go over that line. You sort of just sneak a toe over, look at somebody, get roused and pull it back, and it's sort of, you know, and I love that energy that there is amongst us, and especially watching you two go at it. It's like watching a you know, sibling rivalry, just the back and forth and the little cheap shots and the snarky comments, and it fucking makes my day. I sit here and I don't even have to talk half the time. I just sit here just grinning and laughing.
I gotta treat my little sister well.
Yeah. My big sis always looks out for me when she needs to.
Well, there's only, like 6 months difference between you two.
Yeah.
If my maths serves me correct.
Yeah, it's...
But I like making it seem much, much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, like, even you talk to people that are twins and, you know, they come out a minute ahead or whatever and they're like, yeah, I'm the older one. Fuck you, little younger twin. Like, so it's sort of like that. I could have eaten you
inside.
Yeah. But, no, it's fantastic. And I guess that's something that happened with Ali too. Like, you came in episode 10, way back when, you know, we talked about it briefly in the first segment when the whispers of Paragon. And it was just this instant sort of connection and understanding and like-mindedness that's just contagious.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're sort of like the yin and yang. Like, we sort of said it offline, but you two are very much the same person in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways you're completely different, but you're just the boy and the girl version of this same fun little tube of energy.
Yeah, I'm the good-looking one, though, so, you know.
But it's weird to say that, because, like, I agree, me and him are, like, we have, like, a lot of things in common, and we're on the same wavelength, a lot of things, but NATO's, like, this, like, it has to be yin yang, because, like, NATO's, like, this glowing ball of, like, sunshine and happiness, and then I'm, like, that polar opposite. Like, you know, when you see it in cartoons, there's, like, happy land, and it's, like, all sunshine, flowers, and butterflies, and then you go to the other one, it's, like, darkness and death, and, like, all that sort of stuff. That's how I kind of feel we are.
I don't know. I think it's the opposite, where, like, you're just like that badness on the outside, but on the inside you're that, like, bunny land and stuff like that, while I'm on the outside, I'm the bunny land and all that, and then I'm the sharp pointy stuff on the inside.
That's
There's
really
almost
deep.
a bit of a Pleasantville vibe here, you know, where it's that black and white darkness, and then that sprinkle of color comes through, and anarchy, and then real life. And
I remember it was at PAX. I think I scared the shit out of NATO, because for the most part I've been really, like, placid. But then there was this, like, game we walked past, and it had this, like, really animated, like, onion. And I think I made a really high pitched noise because I thought it was really cute. And he was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yes, oh my god, yeah. When you see those peaks of Ali, where you like, oh, there's that bunny underneath that death costume right there.
Yeah, it's adorable. Like, yeah, she's definitely, like, and I think she wears it with a badge of honor that you know, the Aubrey Plaza comparisons as far as general demeanor and mannerisms and things like that go. And there is a lot of that in there, but then there is this dorky, quirky, angelic side. But it's just, energy that you can't replicate on this pod. You know, you can get as many guests on over the 100 episode cycle or like any other shows, but you know, having that friendship first and foremost, I think, has certainly helped make a lot of this what it is today.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we are very lucky. Like, you have a lot of people out there that genuinely want to build podcasts and build podcasts with their friends. But like, you know, much as you want it to work out for everybody and it to be just such a natural thing, you notice that parts are missing. And I honestly feel we are incredibly lucky. And I'm going to use incredibly #blessed. That burning inside. That we have that, and we have that like chemistry that really molds really well between us, and that we just bounce off each other, and everything just seems to work. I really think we're lucky, and it's what makes this podcast work.
Most definitely. It's just, you know, we've like, everybody's got their real lives and their careers and their families and all that, and finding the time to do things like this on a whatever frequency you're doing at, it can become a chore, but when it is so natural and it's so easy, it's never really felt that way. You know, it's something that I've genuinely looked forward to, you know, every week or every other week, depending on what's going on, obviously. But it's exciting because it's a good time to catch up with mates. Like, you might not have been able to game or chat much online or whatever it is that week. So having that couple of hours on a microphone to talk some games and poke fun at each other is great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope more people can try and find that out there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we definitely take that into consideration. Like, I'm sure a lot of people wonder why we don't have frequent guests, but we definitely feel it's something about our podcast where we really feel like if we do introduce someone on, they have to work, or else it'll be noticeable. Like, you know, you'll feel it. Like, and I was a bit cautious when you guys actually brought me on for the first time, because like I've spoken with you, and I obviously knew Reese really well, but like, you know, there was also Sam, and I think you weren't there for the first podcast I was on.
I was away, I'm pretty sure. No. Were you on the Hawaiian podcast?
I was on the Hawaiian one, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So you were on episode 9 was your first then. So it was episode 10 was the first that I was with you on.
Yeah.
So it was episode 9.
Yeah. And like, so it was a bit confronting where I knew one person, but I didn't know the other one. So I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen here. And I think that's even when I started already saying some fucked up shit. Like, and then the second episode, we were talking about what thing would you eat from a video game. And I said Yoshi's egg. And then, like, yeah, so I like, and everyone reacted really well to it. So that's when I kind of like, okay, cool. Now I know exactly how I can be.
Yeah, you're a keeper. It was in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just good that everything worked. It worked out, like, essentially in the end. It just all works out.
100%. Like, you want to enjoy what you're doing, and you want to enjoy who you're doing it with, you know, in any aspect. So, you know, having that connection and that friendship attached to all this certainly makes it easier. And, you know, having this other cheeky little shit here who's 30 going on 15, you know.
God, if
seen
that's
more,
not an
more fuzz on a
understatement
peach.
and a half, I don't know what it is.
It certainly helps. And I think it's freshened things up a little bit. Like, I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that, but it's sort of having a new voice on the show and a different opinion and, you know, a different energy has certainly refreshed the show a little bit.
I mean, we've got to be honest. Like, we recognize, and some of our audience members have pointed it out to us, that we've, like, between me, you, and Sam, Brendan, like, we do have our games that we enjoy and that we do frequently play. And, you know, after a while, people can kind of put us in a bubble based on what we like and what we'll regularly talk about. So it's good to actually bring someone a bit different in who can add a bit of another flavour.
Yo, have you heard about this game called Harry Potter on mobile? Like, check it out, April 25th. Just check it out, everybody.
Yeah, you're all about that Harry Potter life. It's phenomenal.
God, it's captured my
Ain't that
life.
it's divinity.
But no, and you know, this no doubt is probably not this podcast's final form still. You know, I ask you guys on the regular, what should we change and mix up, and Because I think if we sort of sit back and rest on our laurels, it gets stagnant. So we want to try and keep tweaking this formula and working out what works and what doesn't, and pissing off what doesn't and focusing on what works. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes, and when we revisit this in 10, 20, 50, 100 more episodes time, see what we look at that time. Jesus, maybe.
50 years.
Old cronies.
Yeah. Gotta get up and go to the bathroom again.
Like, can we just, like, picture that for a while? Because, like, that's going to happen in the future. They're going to be, like, this generation of podcasters are going to keep podcasting. And, like, eventually we're all going to be, like, 80, 90-year-olds and still podcasting. It's going to be excellent.
Will we be podcasting, though? It'll be some combination of, like, Twitch streaming, VR, and podcasting.
Yeah, it'll be some kind of embedded reality where, like, people tune in, they just sort of press a button on this little side chip on their head and it just plays in their mind. And, you know, you see us in floating wheelchairs with false teeth and, you know, liver spots and all that kind of sexy stuff.
Can I just say that I love that you said floating wheelchair? What's that wheel for?
Looks, just for show.
Yeah.
And for parking. When you cease to float, you land in its stability. Yep. I think I recovered pretty well there.
I love how like for the listeners, he had this most smuggest look on his face, like, yep, I landed that.
Job's done here.
And that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
God.
is there anything that you guys want to touch on or talk about? In any stories, thoughts, moments, memories, good and bad, thoughts of where this thing may go? Obviously, Ali, we'll sort of talk more about that later as well. But Nato, is there anything that you want to sort of add, or anything that you're itching to get off that hairless chest?
No, hey, look, there's a few strands there. Cut me a little bit of slack, all right? Come on, kids.
They're mine, aren't they?
Huh? They're yours.
Get off my sister.
No, like, as I said, like, I'm new to listening, technically, compared to maybe some of your hardcore fans and stuff like that. So, like, what you had kind of said to me when you were coming back this year that you might thinking about changing stuff, and I was a bit all like, ugh, but I don't know, like, I do still love your format, like, even when I'm not on, like, I 100% still listen. Like, I love listening to you guys banter and chat and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't, like, as a new fan, I say I like everything you still do, but, like, I don't speak for the long-term 100-plus listeners. But, yeah, I really do love the stuff you guys do. Like, I don't just listen because you're my friends. I listen because, like, I enjoy your podcast.
Not a paid advertisement.
No.
But, yeah, I guess sort of rounding out this little agenda that the Dream has put together, my favourite child's probably Chester. You guys miss out altogether.
Cop out.
He didn't even say anything.
But saying that, though, that is such a parent answer, though, of, like, you're all my favourites.
Oh, no.
He didn't say that, though. He completely cancelled us out.
Okay, if you want some transparency, you two are definitely 1A and 1B, and Dream's like D. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know who C is. We'll find someone to fill that void.
Well, you just said Chester.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, but he's sort of 1.
No, see, me and Ali don't accept that. You don't have to choose between us, but we're better than Chester, is what we're saying, alright?
Ooh.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, 2 for the price of 1.
Actually, no, I will actually. He did a shit in the lounge room the other day. So yeah, fuck you, Chester. You're down back of the pack now, mate. Even Sam's above you, Cheds.
Trying to get the fucking, what's the thing?
Fusion.
Fusion. Actually, on my screen
NATO's doing it the wrong way.
Because,
NATO's doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, on my screen it actually works. Sorry, we're doing, like, looking at the webcam. We're trying to do the pose and, yeah. Is that working now? No? Oh, well. Glad that we're doing this for a very visual
I love
for
that
the audio
listeners got like the best show ever.
That's it. It's quite the visual medium.
Speaking about the future, I've always wondered if our audio listeners have ever been curious about behind the curtain on video.
Yeah, you should do some video.
I'd like to hear that.
Once in a while.
I'd like to hear that if they're curious. If they don't want to see our ugly ass faces, hence why we were behind the mic, all good.
I'm down to give that a go. Like, we're already using sort of Hangouts and stuff now, so there's already video capture going on, so who knows? We do have a
Tell
lot
us.
more segments planned, and I know there's a lot of things recorded sitting in the can, just ready to be edited or fixed or rehashed again. So, yeah, some stuff you two are working on. Hungry Space Cowboys needs to find some life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's exciting. It's exciting, and NATO. Just by the way, you'll probably be recording this Wednesday because I'm not around. Just a heads up. Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. I think my lovely children and I are going to say goodbye for now. And we're going to leave you with another spicy hot roast. And we'll be returning on the other side of said roast with some more guests. Till next time. Much love.
Horizon Zero Dawn's a bad game.
My heart.
When you get jelly beans stuck in your teeth and you get that sound of the audio quality when you're like... right in the microphone. Anyway, hey guys. How you going? This is Pez, formerly of the U-Game Bro podcast. You might remember me from episode 74 and 89, where I talked about my masturbating habits and what was actually my lack of masturbating habits, where I did this little Boshy challenge. But anyway, you should go back and listen to that because it was a really good episode. But let's talk about the other 98 episodes. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Did not even have enough Pez on it. Never not enough Pez. But I guess I should probably congratulate you guys on hitting 100 episodes. You know, I will honestly admit that I do think you guys have one of the best podcasts out there in Australia and New Zealand, possibly even the world, now that U-Game Bro has kind of got a crappy host now. He never had the quality that I did. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Hungry Gamers. Let's go to the dream, Salim. Mr. I think I can play Tekken. Listen, buddy. You talk shit all the time. Come up against the world champion. Come against the king. You use your controllers. You use your hands like an idiot. It's all about the mind. You got to get in the mind of your competitor. And when you do that, then you win. You don't even need to pick up the controller. And when you do, pick Eddie. That's how you do it. This hands down, that's how you do it. Ali, I don't have anything bad to say about Ali. Is what I would say if The Last of Us didn't exist in this world. What the fuck is wrong with you, Ali? Come on now. The Last of Us is a fucking masterpiece. You can pick up magazines and read them, or Ali reads them, and you get to listen to her talk about how she knows how she should fucking react to a magazine when she wasn't even there. She was just a sperm in her dad's testicles around that time. Maybe, I don't know. And let's talk about the host of the podcast. The one and only DJ, Killer Keemstar, Brendan White himself, looking like a garden gnome. Listen, buddy, you got a magical voice. It just rolls off the tongue like Raul. But you got to lose the beard, buddy. Come on. Nobody likes a Keemstar. Some people like a Keem. You don't get a million subscribers on YouTube when you don't get liked. But you don't have a million subscribers. You don't deserve such a glorious beard like that. I'm not jealous at all. Maybe a little bit because I can't grow any just underneath where you have that little soul patch. Got this little blank part here because I accidentally stabbed myself with scissors when I used to work at this wetsuit place. Anyway, but listen, here's to another 100 more. I can't wait to see where you guys go. I do believe that you guys are one of the best things happening right now for the gaming community. And just remember, and this is the most important thing, be sure to pick up a bunch of quality 2K titles. They're excellent. All right. Anyway, so now that I've not doing the Boshi challenge, I'm probably going to go masturbate. All right. Peace.
All right, boys and girls, we are back here today on this very special monumental 100th episode with one of the unspoken pillars of the 8-bit nation, or even the 8-bit board of trustees, Benny 8-bit, Ben McJanet, who can be found at the Spawny13. He is the host of the #1 wrestling podcast in the Oceanias, 8-Bit Mania, and also the co-host of Flashpoint, which is a monthly podcast helmed by the Oceanic Gamers. He's also the stablemate of myself in the Trio of Trauma. So, Benny, thank you for taking the time out tonight to come join us on this momentous occasion. It's been a pleasure. How you doing?
Well, thank you for having me, guys. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure being a part of this whole 8-bit thing. So it's kind of exciting to see that Hungry Gamers has got to 100 eps, and knowing where we started a couple of years ago, seeing how far we've come. It's really quite humbling to see that we've got this far. It's awesome.
It's cool as
I love
shit,
it.
isn't it? It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
I've
we've
heard
got so much
8-Bit and the
exciting
Hungry
stuff.
Gamers are compared to a tick. You know, we burrow in, and you know the only way to get us out is by removing us in the entirety. Sometimes our head can break off and stay
Yep.
inside the flesh.
You need to spray us with the little bloody rid spray or something before you get, just to make us crawl out away.
Exactly. So for those listeners that don't know Benny, as I said, he is on a slew of podcasts. He streams on Twitch over at Benny8Bit. And he's been one of our foot soldiers, one of our partners in crime here since our sort of, I guess, relaunch or inception, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Way back at the end of 2015 was when we sort of started talking about it and kicked things off into in 2016. So you've been running socials, you've been running bloody Twitch streams, you've been flying that flag pretty much better than even myself, I dare say. But we wanted to get you on. We wanted to not only pick your brain on I guess about yourself a little bit more and let listeners sort of get a feel for you, because no doubt they'll be hearing those dulcet tones a little bit more over the coming months. But also wanted to get your perspective from the other side of the microphone as well. So I don't know, Dream, if you had a few questions you wanted to throw his way, or if you wanted to sort of hand it over to Benny first. What do you think?
I just want to know how I could be as handsome as this man. He has the most luscious locks I've ever seen on anyone. What shampoo do you use?
Head and Shoulders.
Head and Shoulders?
Really? No dandruff, mate.
Me too. Where am I going wrong?
You're just not letting it grow. That's half your issue.
Yeah.
You got to get that. You just got to let it grow. Let it
You
go.
know what? I've actually heard Benny be compared, or his nickname down there on the Gold Coast is the GC Fabio. Is what they actually call him on the strip.
And that's saying something on the Gold Coast too, because there's a lot of competition there, I think.
Oh, mate. I steer clear of all the gym rats and everything like that. I stand out in a crowd on the Gold Coast. Don't you worry. Mostly because I'm pale and I'm glowing like the sun does, but that's a different story.
I was going to say, this isn't your first 100 episode Rodeo, so your podcast Flashpoint is currently sitting on 134 episodes at the moment.
Yeah, actually, Flashpoint. It's an interesting story with Flashpoint, because it's a podcast that started actually as a Star Wars The Old Republic podcast back in 2011.
Jesus.
That's some dedication right there.
Yeah, so that's how long it's been going for. It's a pretty cool podcast. And it kind of just evolved over time to become the Oceanic Gamer website instead of what they're calling it, the Oceanic Republic or something like that. It was Tor Oz was the website.
Yeah, right.
For the Old Republic. So that kind of evolved from there into the show that it is now, and I joined those guys back in 2014. It was right before Destiny launched.
And that's how you got your start, wasn't it? You were writing or doing some Destiny pieces, and they liked the cut of your jib.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was just writing a bunch of Destiny pieces for them, and I was writing a lot more than what they actually needed for the website, because if you go have a look at the website, it's pretty barren. There's not a hell of a lot there. But then they asked me to come in and talk some Destiny, and I was very lucky to be the first guest post-episode 100 for them on episode 101. And from there, I got invited back a couple more times and was made a cast regular. So it was an honor and privilege to be to join those guys every month and shoot the shit. I love it. It's a great fun show.
What do you talk about in Star Wars: The Old Republic? I've played that. What were you, by the way, a Jedi or a Sith?
I was a Sith.
Did you play it through all the expansions?
Sith. I played up to... I know I played a couple of the expansions. I remember that. I know I got the HK droid, the Hunter-Killer droid.
Right.
Mostly because I just wanted that old Hunter, the HK droid voice lines like, meat bags, I'm going to kill you, and things like that. Just walking around beside me as a companion. I thought that was the best thing in the world.
That game has some of the best cinematic trailers of any game.
Good.
Like, that game has the best trailers. I said that in a very Trumpish fashion. Like, that's my fervent belief, though. Nothing gets me more hyped than looking at those trailers. They're all amazing.
100%. Those trailers and those intro cinematics are better than the prequels. They're arguably better than The Last Jedi.
Did you play it, Brendan?
No, like as everyone seems to know and like to point out, I'm very much a console elitist to a degree. I guess my foray into PC gaming is very late to the party. So I missed a lot of those fantastic games, especially those LucasArts games and stuff like that way back when.
You played Knights of the Old Republic on the OG Xbox, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that hurts.
There's something you need to go and rectify, I think.
Well, they've just confirmed it's getting an upgrade as well, and it's now available in the backwards compatibility on the Xbox One X.
Not only that, you got Old Republic 2 and Jade Empire as an option as well. Really cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Microsoft. Like, they
Backwards
may be
compatible.
losing overall sales, but like they're definitely catering to the fans a lot better than Sony, in my opinion.
Yes. No, I agree with you there. I think they're doing a lot of jobs to try and rectify their mistakes from the last few years, and they're going the right way about it. Some other people might disagree. But you know, a lot of the cool stuff they do, like backwards compatible, that's something they didn't have to do, and they went and did it. And they went back so far back as the OG Xbox, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've been itching to play Jade Empire for a long time. Long time. That is
I never
such a
got to
tidy
play
game.
it, and now that it's backwards compatible, I'm going to
gotta
find
do
a
it.
copy
You gotta
just
do
so
it.
I can play it.
It's one of the
it's one of those ones I missed out on.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite RPGs. Probably hard to say with KOTOR, also on the Xbox, but yeah, I got to say it's like top 2 games on Xbox for me.
Yeah.
All right, fast forward to 2015. I want to say end of 2015. 8-bit 2.0.
Yeah.
Makes its way into the world as under the guise of 8-bit 1.0. I think we swept out our
we just don't talk about 8-bit 1.0.
No,
Yeah, I remember. What I remember is around September 2015, I reached out to Brendan and I just said to him, "Hey man, what are you doing with this 8-bit brand? What's going on with the product? Because it's a really cool concept. I like the brand, I like the product, but god damn, your website needs some work."
Harsh but true.
It was like, yeah, that was the one thing that stood out, because like, I'd open it up on my phone or whatever, because that's around that end of 2014, 2015 time. That's when phone web browsing was becoming the norm.
Yeah, when there was responsive browsing on websites and things like that.
Yeah, so it was
the Stone Age before that.
And he's like, yeah, I want to redo it and rebrand it and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's when we started talking as well, Sam. When we had those Evernote conversations and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, God, if I could remember my login, I'd log into the Evernote thing just to have a look at some of our old OG notes that we had written up and things like that. Because there was a few cool concept ideas. But I remember the one thing that I was always pushing for before we got started was the podcast. Because I was like, it's the one thing that we can easily do that's consistent, that can easily help us build a fellowship.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the one thing I was always harping on about. I was like, yep, I want to do it, let's do it. And then we started talking about it, but the whole problem that we had was recording together. And recording online is not, well, back then it wasn't that great. Your options were limited, I think.
Yeah, it still can be pretty hit and miss right now, I'll tell you.
As we've discovered
Internet
in
dropouts and etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a lot easier now. We can do things a lot quicker and easier. The streaming services are a lot better these days as well. But so back then, when you guys were starting to talk about how we're going to record it and things like that, the option pretty much was in studio together. You know, and that made, like, you guys were all in Sydney at the time and I was up here on the Gold Coast, so it made it a little bit difficult. It was a bit of a hard commute to do every week.
Yeah, I was complaining about travelling an hour.
Yeah, you complain about travelling an hour. I was looking at bloody 11, 12. So, but I remember the first episode, Brendan sent me the first episode of THG saying, have a listen to this, blah, blah, blah. And
Brendan and I are cringing right now. We're cringing.
It was literally as I was boarding a plane to go to America as well for 6 weeks.
I reckon it put you to sleep pretty nicely.
No, I listened to it on the flight to Sydney before I got to the international airport. So it was like, oh man, there's some really cool ideas here. You guys have done really well, and it's not bad for a first episode. As someone that's listened to a lot of podcasts, I was like, you know what? it's actually not that bad. The audio quality is pretty smick. It's run pretty well. I enjoyed it. And you know what? The one thing that I miss? Clan or
Yes. We're still. Well, we don't want to confirm nor deny that it'll be somewhere tucked into this episode or not. But it's certainly something I'd love to get in here.
Because here's the funny thing. Because I was over in the States for like 6 weeks, so each week I was listening to you guys while I was over there as well. And each week, like, I was like, oh, I'm so on Team Sam because he's getting his ass kicked. He's getting his ass kicked. And then, you know, Reese just kept walloping. And then you came back, so round 2, like, you did like 4 weeks where, you know, and then you said, okay, start fresh, next round. And you got to the end game, you had the lead, you were winning, Sam, and then you threw it all away on a double or nothing type bet, and you lost it, and I was like, no, what are you doing? I was rooting for you, brother. What's going on?
I know. It was a pretty... I thought it was fun. It also made no sense, and it was the most rigged game ever. In that,
it was so like it made great audio though. It was awesome. It was hilarious.
It just made no sense
every week.
It never made sense. And the day we got rid of it was the happiest podcast day of my life.
I think the only reason we got rid of it was because Ali didn't want to play.
And God bless her, she's an absolute angel.
She's probably the smartest of all of us.
It was a lot of fun. We will be doing it in this episode at one point, so stay tuned for that a little bit later. Okay, so 2015, you are there, you are ages away, but you do manage to make it onto a couple of episodes between then and now.
You made your debut in episode 35, which was titled Ebb and Flow, or EB and Flow. You were down
the EB Expo.
Down in Sydney town with us for the EB Expo of 2016, and then you made another return live on the PAX show floor in Paxomania, episode 84.
How good was the PAX show?
Yeah, audio gremlins aside,
that was so much fun.
It was a hell of an episode, and you know, we can't go into too much detail about what's happening at this year's PAX, but it's gonna be pretty fucking cool.
It's gonna be lit as fuck. I'm looking forward to the return to PAX and everything like that. It was so much fun last year doing the live on show floor recording. People walking around, and we're just bloody spotting divas in the crowd as they're walking past and everything as well. Really, really cool time. The EB one was really funny because it was kind of the first time I met Reese and Sam and Ali in person as well. We'd always talked online, but never really actually met in person, so it was kind of fun. And I just remember the EB story of us all walking back from buying coffee and Ali sitting in the media conference and hears us all talking loudly as we walk past. He's like, I don't know them. So yeah, I just remember that story from EB pretty much, and all the Disturbed playing at the V stage drone thing, whatever was that year.
That was disgusting, wasn't it? That thing
was awful. That thing was hideous. But Phil Spencer, watching Phil Spencer speak and all that sort of stuff was really cool. I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, and you make it, you don't make it down for all the conventions. It's that we always see you at conventions wherever they are, whether it's like Melbourne. We didn't quite make EB Game Expo last year in your neck of the woods.
On the Goldie.
Up here in Queensland.
Yeah, 2 for RTX down here though, and also the EB Games Expo down here. So and there's talking online intermittently. So we know you well, but we thought we'd ask you a few questions now, just a few gaming related questions to let everyone else out there, all the lovely people who listen to the show, and then the pricks that listen to it as well.
All my horrible gaming secrets.
All of your gaming secrets, starting with first game you ever played.
First game I ever played. The first video game I remember playing, I think it's in the 80s. And
you would have been about 25 then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, wow. I was pretty young back then.
Wow, Brendan.
But still got less grey hair than you, mate.
Goddamn GC Fabio.
But yeah, I remember Mum and Dad had this old computer with the 5.5 inch floppies, and there's this karate game that they had on it. And basically, you're running around, and so that you'd run across the screen for a little bit, and then you'd see this like other stick figure character in front of you. And I say stick figure; it's not like an actual stick; they're actually sticked out and everything. Like you can see, like the karate,
the gi.
Thank you. On the characters and all that sort of stuff. So not bad for late '80s black and white textures.
I think I remember the game. They almost look like two-dimensional Minecraft figures.
Yeah, kind of. And then, you'd get up to them and you'd have to, time your attacks and everything, get in,
karate
give him a quick punch or a kick or whatever, and then, you'd run through. So that's the first game I really remember playing.
If anyone could actually name this game, please write in.
Oh, if they name
please
it,
write
please
in, 'cause I
tweet it to me, anything. I'd love to know what it is. Right. I don't remember.
All right, and what game are you playing now? Like, what's your most recent bit of game candy that you can't stop chewing on?
Probably Far Cry 5,
Oh, really?
I'd say. Yeah, I'm loving it, man.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying it so much because I really I dig the whole cult, American creepy cult vibe that's going on throughout the entire game. I know there's a few people saying, "Oh, that doesn't get political enough or whatever," and I was like, I don't give a shit. This cult creepiness is fantastic. Yeah. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. It gets shivers down my spine every time I talk to Joseph Seed or something like that. I'm like, this is great. I love it. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying Far Cry 5 at the moment. I can't wait to jump back into it.
I spent 30 minutes guest playing that game on my friend's save the other day, fishing in the lake. It was very
fishing is so much fun.
Favorite game of all time.
Favorite game of all time, The Secret of Monkey Island.
You played that, Brendan?
Way back when, not enough to have a valued opinion on it anymore. I think even when I was probably pretty young, I think I might have been about 12 when I played through that. So
the first time I played it, I think it was 92. I want to say, and it would have been another 10 years before I got to play LeChuck's Revenge, Monkey Island 2.
Yeah, the old point-and-click adventure games, they were sort of hit and miss with me at that age, just because I didn't have the patience to, I wanted to take control and go anywhere instead of having to click around the screen. And it was obviously first on computer, so it was sort of something that I was later to the party to, as per usual.
Yeah, back then I had a NES, and my older brother, he had a PC, and he kind of introduced me to PC gaming through LucasArts point-and-click adventures. I think, I remember Loom, Secret of Monkey Island, Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis, Full Throttle was another one that he introduced me to. So I'd just sit there for hours playing. I mean, I remember when we first got our first, real PC, it was in 95. It was the first Windows PC we had in the house, and it was 95, 96. It was around
Sounds
then.
about right.
Literally as I was about to start going into high school.
Did you say 76?
Yeah, 76, and it was a Pentium 133 megahertz PC. I remember that, and I bought the LucasArts Adventures Collector's Pack, and it had 6 games in it. And I spent hours just trying to get the sound to work on it because I had to adjust the drivers and things back then in Windows 95 to get the sound drivers to work with those games and shit like that. But that's what I remember from those sort of games. Those PC adventure games were fantastic.
That is an era of gaming that I have almost no experience with except for Jazz Jackrabbit and Commander Keen. Those are the only two games I remember from that era. There's probably I feel like there's a basketball one in there somewhere too.
Maybe we don't want to rotate the microphone because then the audio quality will further degrade. But maybe we point the questions or the soapbox to you, GC Fabio, and you can.
I like this GC Fabio. I'm going to run with it.
I think you should. Salim TD, GC Fabio. That rings really well.
Salt and pepper, purple Jesus for Brendan.
So, it's my favourite.
Yeah, I still love that one. I laugh at it all the time. But yeah, I do have one little grievance, and I'm going to bring it up. And it's actually not that bad, but it's something that I'm going to bring up because it basically puts my stamp on 100 episodes of The Hungry Gamers. And it means I've contributed to 100 episodes of The Hungry Gamers.
Talk to us, Benny.
The title, The Hungry Gamers. I came up with it.
Oh, controversy. Really?
Controversy, yeah. I remember I recommended it to Brendan as because we're talking about like puns for titles of things and stuff like that. I said, we could do the podcast, and went The Hungry Gamers is, to go with the 8-bit theme and of eating food and stuff like that. And that's where it came from, and that's where I suggested it, and we ran with it.
Interesting. See, my mind's cloudy that I'd like to say no. That was all me on a moment of clarity and genius, but I'm just going to go touche.
Yeah, I think with the lack of evidence to support your argument, Brendan, we have to take Benny on his word here.
You have to believe me. I mean, I'm GC Fabio.
That's it.
So
those locks don't lie.
They do not. They do not.
There you go.
Yep. So there's the bombshell I'm dropping. It's put my stamp on 100 episodes. It would not be what it is today without me naming the show.
No, that's right. Well, that's fair. The Hungry Gamers, THG, with Benny.
I'm gonna start putting that in the notes of every episode in the transcripts.
Thanks to Benny for the name.
Yeah.
We should do credits.
Every episode from here on out.
Intro and outro by Michael Woods from Reset, and naming from
Benny.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we bid you adieu for now?
No, not really. Like, I could talk about Salim always being late, but he's never late to my heart. Ali can never have too much sass. And Brendan, mate, you're the guy that brought us all together. You are daddy hungry, as far as I'm concerned. So thank you very much for keeping this band together and helping us all come along and do what we've done.
It's been a pleasure and a privilege, and onwards and upwards. I do believe we've got some exciting things in the pipeline that will start to come into fruition over the coming months. So get keen.
Yeah, 2018's already been a fantastic year for 8-bit, and I can't wait to see what we do next.
Mm-hmm.
Excelsior!
Be sure to follow Benny McJanet, aka Benny 8-bit, aka GC Fabio, on all the socials at the Spawny13, and find him on Twitch at Benny 8-bit, all one word. Benny, It's been a pleasure, mate. Much love.
Much love. Stay hungry, guys.
What's going on, guys? It's John O'Peck here. The listeners might know me from putting in work on the 8-Bit Collective, but hey, it's not about me. It's about you guys. Congrats on reaching 100 episodes. That is so good. I can't even imagine what it's like to be stuck in a room with the same people for so long. But hey, you guys found a way to make that work. You separated yourselves. Very wise. And I'm taking this opportunity to say congratulations. I think I'm supposed to roast you, though, but I'm not very good at that. I'm maybe too nice. I don't know. It's hard to say mean things about such cool people. I have very great memories of meeting you guys at PAX and at Kind of Funny Live with Brendan, but I think the first time I met Salim, he was playing with a fidget spinner, actually. That's my first impression anyway. And Brendan, if I had to make fun of him, I guess he's spending $100 on mobile games, and I think he said melee instead of melee the other day. That was kind of weird. There's also like the obvious kind of old jokes, I guess, but it's hard to make fun of someone for being old when they're on a podcast with someone that plays Agatha Christie video games. So shout out to you, Ali. No, I love you guys, and keep up the great podcast. It's awesome listening every week, and of course, keep putting in work.
All right, 8-Bit Nation, we are back here, joined now by the lovely Miss Ali Hart, who obviously can be found at Miss Ali Hart. And on this special segment of episode 100 of the Hungry Gamers podcast, we are joined not only by Cruzy, or Jack Cruz, who can be found at Cruzy_mate. We've also got John O'Peck, who can be found at Jono himself, the only verified man on Twitter that I would consider a close friend. How you doing today, boys? It's a pleasure to have you on here finally, albeit in a compressed circumstance here with a nice little capsule of a segment here for episode 100. But thanks for taking the time out to join us here at the Hungry HQ.
My absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's a good. What better time to come in than episode 100?
Exactly.
Damn right.
You'd certainly hope and think that we've ironed out most of the kinks by now.
Exactly.
You would be incorrect.
I've been listening to this. When did we meet? We met at Kind of Funny Live. I've been listening to this podcast just after that, so nearly a year. But it's by far my favorite. This is now my own. It is my only weekly video game podcast that I listen to nowadays, and it's just such a privilege to to be able to be on my favorite podcast. It's
just wanted to say that is not a paid advertisement either. That was completely unrehearsed, straight from the big heart.
Yeah, I was going to say my PayPal is no.
But so to give you guys and girls out there listening a bit of backstory, obviously Jack Cruz there, who is the host of It Is What It Is, the weekly news/infotainment podcast found in the 8-Bit Collective, and Jono is not only a published author of The Spy and the Maven, but he's also the host of Putting in Work, a weekly inspirational one-on-one interview-based podcast. I don't know if that's doing it justice. Feel free to interject in a second. But you're also now the co-host of Split Screen, a new little endeavour that has kicked up the last couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, that's right. You've sold it pretty well. I think throwing the word inspirational in there is more than I would do. So if that's what you want to say, go ahead. That sounds good to me.
It was also not a paid advertisement either, people. Straight from this heart.
Yeah, and Split Screen's that's a monthly thing. It's kind of a weird Frankenstein of a project because it's been born out of this like radio station that is being put together online, and then we said, can we film it and put it up on the YouTube channel as well? So that's over at Generation Play if you want to check those guys out. I'm going to be doing a bit more content with them too.
Heck yeah. So yeah, we're here. We're sort of looking at this 100th episode as a bit more of a reflection, I guess, on sort of past, present, future, and who knows beyond. What is beyond future? I don't even know. Something magical, no doubt. But we wanted to get you guys on to sort of, I guess, look at it as that future-based aspect, because you're part of the new blood, the old guard, which is, Ali and myself and a couple of other crusty old veterans. We're getting a little bit long in the teeth, so we needed to...
Nothing like being referred to as crusty.
Well, it wasn't us. We weren't the crusty ones. We were the old guards. So we all know Salim the Dream's got more crust than a bloody loaf of bread. But yeah. Anyway, wanted to get you guys on. You're part of this sort of new wave of content creators that are blazing some pretty impressive paths out there. To get your thoughts, I guess, on not only what we're doing, what yourselves are doing, and also maybe thoughts on the future and anything else you want to throw in. So I might hand over the microphone to yourselves and take a back seat, which I'm actually very much looking forward to right now, and letting you guys maybe dictate this next however long.
Yeah, I think we could probably transition from the present into the future by saying I think it's really awesome what's happening at the moment, and not just because I'm involved with it, and Jack probably feels the same way, but it's just cool to be part of a family of podcasters, I guess, like this huge group of people who are all doing different things. We're all watching each other do it kind of independently, but supporting each other and getting around each other. So that's been a really great experience for me in the past few months after Putting in Work kind of in a vacuum for the 12 months before that. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, 100% echo those thoughts. I mean, obviously, we were presented, I guess, with an opportunity to team up with you guys at the start of the year and do some awesome stuff. And obviously we've been part of other content groups and that kind of thing in like the past, and have had great experiences doing that. But there's something different about this. There's something like, there's a real, I don't know, there's, like Johnny says, a real like family kind of feel, like everyone's in it together, and we're all sort of, there's just like a real energy, like everyone's pulling in the same direction, which I think is, like, obviously for any organization, not just, content creators, is very necessary for it to be successful. And that's probably the biggest thing I've taken away from, the 4 months or so that we've been working together, is that, everyone that I've reached out to, had almost everyone, on It Is What It Is so far, asked for help with something, some advice. It's just been like, there's never been anyone who hasn't, put their hand up to help or given a bit of advice or, or anything at all. So, yeah, it's a good energy. It's to be part of. I remember the first time I listened to the Hungry Gamers podcast. Not sure sort of what it was. I was like, I'll give this a listen. Obviously, we'd hung out in San Francisco. We'd done some stuff on the Twitch streams, and like you coming over to do stuff with the Explosion Network at the time, and the Mario Kart stuff. And I'm like, I'll give these guys a listen, because I remember talking to you. I remember the first time I met you, Brendan, and you were wearing the Doom 8-bit shirt, and I'm like,
nice.
Is that a fucking dinosaur on a what is that? And I'm like, 8-bit. I'm like, that's crazy. Anyway, listen to the podcast, and was just so impressed by like the quality level of the production values and how it was put together, and the awesome voiceover in between the segments and all that. And So to be now a part of, I guess, the inner sanctum of this sort of group is, it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys have any rebuttal or response before we move on?
I always love when people refer to us as a family because I always try to put everyone in their creepy positions. Like, who's the creepy uncle? Who's the one that gets the kids drunk? Like, I'm obviously
the one that's always drunk.
So exactly.
So you've sort of led us down that path. Now you have to typecast these two as what family members would Jack and Jono be in this big 8-bit familia?
Oh, okay. Based on like first impressions, I'm gonna use that. Is like, sorry, Jack, but he is clearly like the drunk uncle because any conversation I've had with him face to face, he's been completely smashed.
When in Rome.
So he can be drunk uncle, and Jono is like he's nice uncle. He's like I feel like he's the one that, when someone said no, go ask Jono.
Yeah. Jono's the cool uncle that brings like the Vita and stuff to the family get together and shows the kids how to play video games and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're certainly two of the cooler members of this family. Especially, you're definitely head and shoulders above Salim the Dream. He's probably the creepy uncle. Would you say, Miss Hart? Is that where you typecast Dream?
He's either the creepy uncle or more like
the absent father.
I was gonna,
because he's always late.
No, he's more like that kind of like brother that you keep away from your friends.
Yeah. I was gonna say Salim's like he's like the older uncle that never got married and like cruises in with his like red convertible and leather jacket and rocks up to the family function late wearing sunglasses and
different girlfriend every time.
Yeah. That's Salim.
That's a lot better and probably a lot nicer than the path I was taking him down. So, thanks for sort of
which one you were taking him down.
Yeah. I think you have to be the dad here, BW.
I can handle that.
And sometimes you have to go away on business trips, but you always bring toys home.
I always come back. Yeah, I'm not just nipping out for sort of to get some milk and bread and never returning. I'm always coming back. I may be a little bit late sometimes, but I got you. But no, that's I think you two described it very, very, very eloquently. That's sort of what we've been always about, and that's what we're sort of now this next step with sort of, I guess, 8-bit as a whole is becoming, where it is more community family focused, where we want to try and get good like-minded people in to share in this goal and share creative thoughts and try and make magic together and support one another. And it's really starting to take shape. From what I'm hearing, there's some good uptick on a lot of the new and the existing content, like Cruisy with It Is What It Is. 11 episodes deep now, if memory serves. Jono, you've just ticked over the 61st episode of Putting In Work. And obviously
62 tomorrow. Yeah.
My goodness. And just the caliber of show and content yourselves, as well as the guys like I Speak Giant, House of Mario, Dash Culture, 8-Bit Mania. It's inspiring for me just to sort of see what people like yourselves and even like people that aren't, I guess, in this quote unquote 8-bit collective, like just talking to friends and peers and colleagues and whatever else you want to define them as, just seeing the greatness that they're making on the daily is good energy for me. It helps push me forward and keep me, hustling and things like that. It keeps me hungry, keeps me staying hungry. Hashtag stay hungry. But I couldn't say it any better, and I've probably just reworded everything you said, so apologies for wasting the last couple of minutes. I don't know, Ali, have you got anything to contribute?
Well, especially with these two, I've got to say, like, as someone who has absolutely steered away from any kind of responsibility in hosting duties, I've got to say these two are just natural hosts, and it's so impressive. Like, they both got their own unique ways as well, but both of them just work and make every podcast flow amazingly, and it's pretty impressive, I think.
No, I agree. It was intimidating sort of jumping here as a
a
host or a co-host on this segment here with these two trained professionals who are probably a lot better spoken than I am. So
that's enough of that.
Cut that out. This isn't about us. You're too kind.
So without any further ado, I think we should bust out some predictions for where we think 8-Bit and Hungry Gamers might be headed. So, Jack, do you want to kick off with your first prediction?
I do. So I have 3. Do we have 3? Is that what we're doing?
We have 3 each, yeah.
Perfect.
We prepared these earlier today.
We did, yes. So my first prediction, and this is, I think they're all quite likely to happen, but this one I think is probably most sort of likely to sort of come to fruition. So my first prediction. After his failed attempt to win Danny Minogue's heart on the 2019 season of The Bachelorette, Sam hits rock bottom and enters rehab for his Tekken addiction. He's released after his 3-month stay, but relapses within 2 days. And in a true story of redemption, goes on to become the undisputed Tekken World Champion of PAX Day 2.
Oh,
that
so
is awesome.
specific.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
That's phenomenal. You know,
we need him on The Bachelorette. We need him on The Bachelorette so bad.
Oh,
I don't know if Ladbrokes or Sporting Bet or Tab have sort of got odds on this happening, but
we should get them to create a market.
It's near favourite. It's near certainty. Probably 2-1, maybe 5-1. Worst case.
At least.
Yeah. Well, on the same kind of topic, I've got a prediction about Salim too. So we'll have to see who's more closer to accurate, Jack.
I think mine's pretty spot on, I think.
So my prediction is Salim takes a 6-month sabbatical from the Hungry Gamer in 2020 to focus specifically on training for the Tekken 8 World Championship.
Damn. I could see him thinking about that and maybe taking those first steps, but I reckon 2 months in he'd get bored and go buy a cask of wine and then just live in a park.
That's all over.
In a park.
Very good.
I'm envisioning the whole Rocky training montage sequence for that though. Like, can't podcast anymore. It's bad for my fingers or bad for my knees, or what does Mickey say? Women weaken knees or whatever. Same for podcasting. You got to focus all your energy into this thing that you're trying to do.
He starts chasing a chicken for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
We actually intended to do like a sort of an intro to fighting, or like a Salim or Abraham fight school where him and his cousin would train up myself and Ali to become potential Tekken champions. We were going to parody a lot of things from Rocky and
montages and stuff.
Yeah,
Karate Kid,
training montages.
Yeah,
got to have a montage.
So it'll happen eventually, but yeah, God knows when.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, we got to make the most of when we get together so we can actually film some of this stuff. Maybe at PAX or something.
Bang on.
What have you got next, Jack?
Prediction number 2. On the 200th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast, Miss Ali Hart gives so much sass in the one go that it creates a rift in the time-space continuum, merges our world with an alternate dimension where Ali hates to cook and is overly polite. Brendan is a clean-shaven blonde. Sam is a full-time Pokemon Go Twitch streamer. Jono is a foul-mouthed atheist. And also, in the alternate reality, Dash never missed a PAX.
Wow. Or a Twitch stream.
That is phenomenal.
I want to see a blonde Brendan.
No one does.
Which is the darker timeline? I don't know.
Yeah, which is. I also like Ali is polite.
I noticed, though, that you conveniently left yourself out of that timeline, Cruzy.
Alternate reality Cruzy just talks less.
Yeah. No, I think
I'm a water guy now.
With blonde hair, with these giant dark caterpillars, I would look absolutely atrocious with blonde hair.
You look like Eminem.
I feel like that's a generosity target if we can get it to a certain donation.
Bleach my hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's put it on a future stream.
I'll piss my other nipple.
I don't even want to think about what you would look like with that. It's kind of scary.
I see like a Malfoy, like a.
Oh yeah, that actually could work.
And the beard, you have to do the beard too.
We do the blonde beard as well. Oh no!
Yes, that'd be so good. You'd be like Gandalf the Grey or the White when he comes back.
Gandalf the Gold.
Yeah.
Oh man! So I've got a prediction about Ali as well.
Oh.
It's not quite as far fetched as Jack's.
Hey, what's far fetched about that?
I see Ali doubling down on the sass, getting her own weekly sassy segment of the show. Wouldn't that be
Called when
something?
Sam talks.
I'm thinking
love
like
that.
a you know what grinds my gears kind of thing for Ali.
I'd love that, but
It
I feel
doesn't
like
even
that's
have
just
to be
me
gaming
anyway.
related. It could be anything.
I would love that.
Very good. Very good.
You are
Pitch
giving
it.
us gold here.
Yeah,
Both in hair and in
Free ideas.
pretty much.
You writing these down, Ali? We certainly need to go and
Totally.
workshop some of these.
I don't know how we go with the alternate reality, but
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll make it work.
Can't be
Do
too
you
hard.
want to audition that one, Ali, and give us your sass of the week
Sass of the week.
right now, improvised?
On the spot.
Okay, I'm currently drinking lolly water, also known as like a girl's alcoholic beverage, and it bothers me so much that I can't taste the alcohol in it, and that we're at a degree now where girls can just drink stuff that tastes like cordial or syrup mix. I don't think cordial exists in America, so
What is it you got there? What is it?
it's like cider mixed with rum, and I don't taste anything.
Cider
It tastes like medicine, actually, so I don't know what that says about me. That's your sass for the week.
Not bad. We need a bit more pep in that step next time, and maybe some curse words. But the foundation is there.
I can't curse in front of Jono.
I can. It's fun. It's good to watch him squirm when you do it.
Used to it.
Oh dear.
I was on a podcast called Pleasure Explosion for like a year, so
True.
don't worry.
I'll see if I can let something out. See if I can actually really disgrace myself.
Ali was the first
Story
person to
of
drop
my
the C-bomb.
biography. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
My bad.
And she
Oh, actually, no. Tom was. Sorry, I take
Tom
that back.
was.
Tom was.
Tom was.
Yeah.
First
I guess
Aussie.
first, yeah.
Yeah, first off. Yeah.
I'll take that.
valid.
What's next, Jack?
My
Last prediction.
My final prediction, and I kid about the other two, but I do believe this is probably the most likely to come true. Helmed by our fearless leader, Brennan White, 8-Bit continues to be awesome and create awesome content for years to come, eventually becoming the Rooster Teeth of Australia. We all quit our jobs and do this shit full time.
That would be the dream. That is like for lack there of a better word, our sort of mission statement, I guess, as far as we don't want to emulate to a T, but obviously that would be the goal, I think, where we could make this into one big successful business venture where we're putting all our energy and thoughts and positivity and negativity, especially with the new SaaS segment coming out soon to the 8-Bit Collective.
And how?
It would be phenomenal where we all move to, maybe not, where would we all move? See, okay, let's put that on to you three. Where would home base be?
Melbourne.
California.
I'd move to Cali.
Yeah.
That's an option.
California. The Australian Australian network
Yeah.
is moving to
Based out of
California.
California.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, I think
do a
Sydney's
straw
too
poll.
expensive. I think
Sydney's way too
expensive.
expensive and just shit.
It's pretty good up in Brisbane, guys.
There we
and
go. I
gals.
said the S word.
Pretty good up in Brisbane.
There's no
been a while
conventions in Brisbane anymore.
We'll make our own.
No, 8-Bit.
Oh,
8-Bit
What would you
X.
call it?
ABX.
8-Bit Expo. ABX. Oh, I like it. Craig Con.
Just planted a seed.
Oh,
ABX.
Craig Con.
I like that. But no, that would be that's goals right there. I hope one day we can all be toasting over a cider rum, you know, together, complaining about the taste of medicine and toasting to our success. So that would be phenomenal.
Hells
I
yeah.
didn't complain. Look, one of the best reviews we ever got, and like I was happy to like leave the podcast after it, was when someone actually referred to us as the Australian Funhouse.
Oh, wow.
And for me, that was like, that's it. I'm good.
Yep.
We can leave.
Retire.
Pack it up. We're done. Yeah, I'm good. So, I mean, we're getting there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's exciting, and you know, things that we sort of keep hinting at, like PAX this year is going to be pretty good with what we got in the pipeline. So yeah, the hype is real.
To that.
Wait, is that
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh challenge going on? Is that really what?
Actually, it's a POG challenge.
Oh, the POG. Gotta get those 8-bit POGs done up. Okay,
Ooh,
my
yeah.
last prediction to round this out. It's very likely, in my opinion. Rockstar releases a tie-in mobile game for Red Dead Redemption 2, causing Brendan White preemptively to declare bankruptcy because he can't stop himself from spending money on mobile games.
That's 1-to-1 odds of occurring.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn WWE Supercard. Goddamn.
Let's be honest. How much have you dropped all over for that?
My tally was 100, like, just listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I think it was like 70 and then 30. Hey, you got Sheamus though, right? You got Sheamus. So.
Nah, my deck is pretty beast these days. About 200.
Oh wow!
No way!
It's still going.
But I haven't gone back to that well of depositing cash into there for about a week. I think I've sort of shaped the game the way I want it to now, and now I can just sort of, control my own destiny.
Reap the
WWE
benefits.
Supercards. So
yeah.
I can almost buy a console.
He's keeping Pez employed.
Yeah,
It's
right?
like, oh, dear.
Just doing my my community service for 2K.
Wow.
Got to repay him for giving me a copy of WWE 2K18, which I could buy like 4 times over with that amount.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, Red Dead on mobile. My God, give me the microtransaction to ride Far Lap and use John Wayne's revolver and be able to paint a wagon red and stuff like that. Like, man,
Gonna paint a wagon.
Damn. Yeah, I need to.
can see it.
I really need to get myself sorted out with WWE Supercard.
Yeah.
Check yourself into rehab.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe I should have made the rehab prediction about yourself instead of Salim.
Start doing podcasts from rehab.
Yeah.
That's
at least the sound would be good in one of those sort of nut room
cells,
walls, Be audio quality.
Nut room.
I reckon that'd do well, wouldn't it? Nut room. The podcast from rehab.
Yeah.
It's probably been done.
If not,
But, yeah.
we'll take the inroads to try and
Patent
make that
pending.
happen.
Patent pending.
Yeah, well, that's 6 predictions about the Hungry Gamers. So, congratulations again on reaching 100, and I'll kick it back to you, Brendan.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Those predictions, I think most of them are pretty well grounded in a pretty close reality, truth be told.
For sure, yeah.
It's actually fearful. It felt like I was sort of just hearing my future life play out in podcast form. So, yeah, when you see...
Podstradamus? What was the team?
Nerdstradamus.
Nerdstradamus,
yeah,
there you go.
It's going full circle. So if you guys see me in 2 years' time in a gutter with one shoe on with bleached blonde hair shouting about my Samoa Joe not being strong enough, you guys know that you are indirectly to blame for all of this.
There you go.
But yeah, boys, thank you for coming on in this sort of compressed vacuum of the episode 100. We will have you on in the coming weeks to do a full structured Hungry Gamers episode where we can talk more video games and life and all that fun stuff. But
Cannot wait.
Any listeners out there, be sure to check out what these two magicians are doing. Obviously putting in work, as well as It Is What It Is. As well as some other things. Like, there may or may not be some new stuff coming out with Cruzy in the sporting realm that he may or may not bring back down the line. I don't know if I'm just putting words in his mouth. I do it because I can.
It's definitely definitely on the table.
And check out Split Screen and wait eagerly, like I am, for the follow up to The Spy and the Maven from our boy John O'Peck.
Thank you.
Verified.
And
on Twitter.
you can actually find both of us on It Is What It Is. As of the posting of this, it will be the latest episode, I think.
Oh yes,
on episode 12.
It will be coming out. Yes, Monday. I don't know. I'm bad with dates.
Several days ago, probably.
Several days.
But thank you, boys. Is there anything any of you three would like to say? Ali, maybe do you have anything you want to add to this before we start to bid these handsome devils adieu for another day?
Definitely listen to the episode on It Is What It Is where I dropped the C-bomb, and definitely check out the episode of Putting in Work with Colin Moriarty.
Yes.
That was a belter.
Thank you.
And it's your longest episode to date. Like,
I think the one with Nick Scarpino was a couple minutes longer.
Oh, really?
Actually. But yeah,
Really?
He likes to talk.
I love
fun.
I love
Yeah.
both those episodes. They were two very, very different sort of tones, I guess you could almost say, but both brilliant in their own right.
Oh, and the episode with Brendan.
And that one.
Oh, sorry.
That's where he laid out all of his plans for 8-bit, and that's where we
It's
are
actually a
now.
good
So
listen.
it's coming true.
The
yeah.
first return guest to putting in work.
That's it. Nerdstradamus, he foresaw
Nerdstradamus.
in that episode, and he looped me back in for a little special, little mini PIW, which is pretty cool.
Yep. I'm calling those over time. I'm going to start doing kind of like little people can just talk about what projects they've been working on, especially people that have appeared on the show already. So
Ooh, I like that.
keep them in. Yeah.
It sounded a little bit like you said little people can come on and
They're more than welcome to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have, life's too short. What's that guy?
Peter Dinklage.
You know.
There you go. This one.
Peter Dinklage.
I was going to say Danny
I was thinking of
DeVito.
Warwick Davis. Sorry, Warwick Davis.
Oh,
R2-D2.
Willow.
No,
Willow.
No, not R2-D2. He was
Willow.
He was
Willow.
Wicket as well. Wicket in Return of the Jedi.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
God bless Willow.
Yeah. Ripper of a movie. Val Kilmer,
yeah.
looking like a
Yeah.
boss, and now he's just fat.
Yeah.
Hey, leave Val Kilmer alone, mate. Still number one Batman in my heart.
Yeah, he was a good Batman. That's a story for another day. But, boys, anything else you guys want to say before we say goodbye for now?
It's just it's a thank you for having us on. It's an honour and a privilege to work with the whole crew and yourselves, and looking forward to many more years of smashing out awesome content.
Yeah, and I'll just say keep putting in work because you guys are doing it and you're kind of leading the way. I think for as far as podcasters go, it's great to look at you guys, what you've been able to do over the past year and a half or 2 years, and yeah, just it's inspiring as much as you say that you get a lot from putting in work. I think that we probably get just as much from seeing the body of content that you've done over the last couple of years, and as well as just what you've built in itself with the rest of the collective too.
It's definitely a brick by brick process and very much a team effort. But yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you. But yeah, we are the sum of all parts. So let's keep putting in work. Let's keep staying hungry, because as you guys know, it is what it is.
Trademark.
Nailed it.
You guys hungry, huh? Hungry gamers? Like hungry hippos?
Are we going to go over this again? You still think it's Hungry Hippos?
It is hungry. It's hungry hippos. They're the hungry gamers.
Why would it be the Hungry Hippos?
Because it's a game.
That's good. See, I thought it was the Hunger Games,
But it's not the Hungry Games, and it's not like a game. It's a
Well-
book. Hey, Salim, what do you think? What do you think the name is? Can you tell us?
Oh, well, boys, actually, hold on. I'll reset it. Yeah, actually, thanks for asking, Tobes. We actually came up with the name because me and Brendan were having dinner the other day. I'll say the other day, but it was actually fucking 100 weeks ago.
Can Brendan cook?
Mate, if Brendan could cook, then we wouldn't be eating at Macca's, which is what we were doing.
What's his favorite thing to get from Macca's? What's your favorite thing to get from Macca's?
Mate, if I'm going to order something at Macca's, it's got to be one of the more gourmet gourmet things on the menu, sort of like the Angus burgers they got, or whatever's new. Whatever's new, I'm always out for something.
Brendan takes me for one of those cheap guys. You know what I mean? Gets those $3 values.
Mate, you couldn't squeeze a fucking cent out of that guy if you tried.
So can you tell us why are you Hungry Gamers?
I'm actually going to think of a reason. Because there's no good reason you'd be called the Hungry Gamers in this day and age. Are
you hungry for games?
Right, is that it?
Because there's a saturation of games, if anything.
Right, exactly. 100 episodes in, it's not too late. You know what I mean? It's not too late to either
change,
to either pack it in.
I'm sure they don't have
or
enough.
Change.
I'm sure they don't have enough of a following to cause a crime if they change names anyway.
You think it matters? No.
I mean, they're probably gonna have to reprint all the jumpers anew that are in their stockyard. I'll probably just burn them.
That's going. That's going straight into the furnace anyway.
Or just give them out to the homeless.
Exactly.
Maybe they won't want them either. Hey, we've been we've focused a lot of time on Salim and Brendan, but there's the other hungry gamer boy in the pack as well.
It's actually a girl, dude.
This is a roast. I know.
But if you think for a second that when the Hunger Games drop an episode, I fucking jump on that and listen to it, you're sorely mistaken. You're sorely mistaken, my friend. I couldn't give 2 fucks when they drop a new episode.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on. Does anybody tweet at us? Tweet at us if you care about it.
Tweet us.
Or maybe don't
100
tweet
episodes.
us.
Time to fucking retire and let the new boys move.
Yeah, the movie boys.
The movie boys.
The movie
That's
boys
right,
are
the
moving
movie
in.
boys.
We're taking your number 1 spot. Better call us the Hungry Movie Boys because we're coming in hot.
Because we're hungry. We're going to eat your fucking fan base alive.
Oh, yeah. They're already gone wild over this.
That's right. We're swallowing them whole and you're going to be left with nothing. Calling it out now. We're putting you on blast. You've been roasted. You've been roasted like pretty, like medium rare.
Yeah. How's that feel, Sam, Brendan, and James?
If we're gonna change the name from the Hunger Games,
Well, I think they should have a cool name.
Well, let's throw them a bone. What do you reckon?
You put me on the spot quite hard. Because to tell you the truth, I don't even know what the fuck these guys talk about.
I think they it's like okay, the Hungry Gamers. So they must. It's got something to do with food. And it's got something to do with games. So I assume they must play some kind of like culinary bingo or something, you know?
Oh, no, you know what it is?
What?
3 friends. Are they friends? I haven't listened to the podcast. 3 people getting together over lunch because they're hungry.
Yep.
Play little games together.
See, I thought they were playing like Connect 4 or chess with like chicken nuggets or something, and
and then they eat them.
They just eat them afterwards, and like we have to listen to them fucking chew in the mic.
Oh, Salim's got such a big mouth. I bet he chews real loud too.
Oh my god!
Is that true? Sam, do you have a big mouth?
It's true, yeah.
Hey boys, slow down, it's true, alright?
It's true.
They don't call me the dream for nothing.
Hey mate, this mouth can probably fit like a whole pack of the chicken nuggets, so it's one big gulp for me. I probably don't even have to do much chewing.
Chill out, Salim, chill out. Stop spitting
Yo, mate,
everywhere.
like, I'm just sitting here, you've invited me on, and I really wasn't expecting like this level of sort of saltiness coming from you boys. Real quick, new name. Give me a new name.
Oh, Forever Movie Boys.
That's really good. I was going to say the Hungry Lamers, but I think plugging us is a much better idea.
Hey, happy 100th episode.
Idiots.
Right? And now the good thing we're off mic now.
Yeah,
Those
now that
guys
we've
are
stopped recording.
Idiots.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we didn't give it to him hard enough. As soon as Reese left.
Yeah, as soon as he left.
Well, hey, if that's when the show got bad, he must have left at episode 0. Am I right? Woo! Okay.
I hope you guys understand that we just roasted you because you asked us to.
That was a roast, and it was a delicious one at that. And I hope anybody else that hears this roast, everybody else that hears this roast, is as full as we are. Straight off the bone.
We're just the gamers now.
We're just the gamers. We're full. Yeah, we're just the gamers.
I guess that's what they can change their name to.
The gamers, yeah, because you've been roasted, and
we just fed you.
Alright, 8-Bit Nation, welcome back to the final leg of the 100th episode of the very special Hungry Gamers podcast. Just wanted to say a quick thank you to all our lovely guests that have taken time out today to share their thoughts, anecdotes, good, bad, or otherwise on us, as well as those roasts. I'm coating myself in SPF 50 at the moment because there was some pretty filthy burns in there, but, we wouldn't have had it any other way.
No.
How you two doing? It's been a long one.
Yeah. It almost feels exhausting and draining in some way, and I've somehow lost my voice. It's been an incredible 100th episode, I think so.
Yeah, peeling the curtain back, we have been recording this on and off for nearly a week, so, the energy levels are intermittent, to say the least.
On a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us ever really look great on a Sunday morning.
I ain't fucking with anyone. I'm hungover, guys. 8-Bit Nation, Miss Ali Hart is hungover. Too many vodka cruises and whatever else. But hey,
You've got some good raspiness.
Celebrating big on Saturday night, the 100th episode. Thanks, Ali.
Yeah, like, there's only one way to do it. And that's
it.
Just recklessly
drinking
drinking
vodka through penis straws.
Yeah. pretty much.
Side note, vodka cruisers. I haven't even seen vodka cruisers in years.
Well, I can confirm I ain't touching one in a long. I ain't touching one in a long time now.
All right. So, I think we should move, I guess, maybe into what has been known in some circles as the best/worst segment we've ever done in the Hungry Gamers history.
Yes.
A little ditty known as Sham. Okay, so we're bringing back Clan or Sham. Maybe this might be a one-time only deal. This could be a weekly segment again. Who the hell knows? We do things fast and loose up in here. But I will be hosting this segment with our two lovely competitors, Miss Ali Hart and Salim the Dream here, vying for clan-based glory. I will be reading clan names today taken from the official PUBG listings. So these are player-unknown Battlegrounds clan names. It's a mixture of real and fake clans that I have so intricately put together.
I have a question already.
Okay.
Is this literally anybody who signed up for a clan?
No,
like
these are ones
that
have at least played in one official tournament since the game's inception. So
legit teams
on an official ranking system. Yeah.
Okay, so the chance that it's like a ludicrous name has really diminished immediately with that.
Or has it?
The bully ball eaters is not going to be coming up here.
So the way I've structured this is there's going to be 3 rounds, and then the last round on top will be a double bonus points round. We've just got to guess if the last clan that I mentioned is real or fake. So you'll both be putting your votes in for each round of these 3 clans I mentioned, and then I'll obviously grade you accordingly, and then we'll announce a winner and or loser. So you guys ready to get it?
Yeah. I'm ready. Ali looks weak as fuck right now. I feel
laying down and losing sounds like a really good idea. So.
There's clearly one person out of the 2 of us who cares more about this.
Yeah, that's very evident.
Okay, so starting things off, the first clan round in question. I'm going to lead off with Sleazy Company, Greasy Company, and Easy Company. Which out of those 3, could be 1, could be 2, who knows? Which one out of those 3 are real or sham clans?
Who starts? Do I start or do we start?
Let's hand it over to Ali. She can start. So hang on. How about we go like this? I'll say Sleazy Company. You can choose if it's clan or sham, and then we can do Greasy and then Easy, and then I'll announce who's correct out of this.
All right.
So you haven't told us how many. So
we don't know. They could all be shams.
They could all be shams?
Yeah. This is the beauty of clan or sham. There is literally no guidepost. There's no way of knowing what the fuck's going on.
It changes as the wind blows this game.
Sleazy Company, I think not.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one's
I think sham. Yeah.
Okay.
But...
So is Sleazy Company as a sham your final answer for both?
Yes.
Okay, alright. So let's move on to Greasy Company. Clan or sham?
You're not going to give us a trademark. That is correct. You love that.
I'll round that in at the end of this first round. Yeah, it's coming.
I love it. That should be a soundbite on its own.
Okay. Greasy Company. Clan or sham?
I'm going to say it's a clan. They want to be greasy. They want to slip through your fingers.
Yeah. Well, Easy Company is actually like a name of a American Army Corps or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah,
Easy Company?
it is. Easy Company. I think it's also in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, so I feel like it's more likely to be a play on that as opposed to actually that. So I also think Greasy Company is a clan.
Is a clan? Okay.
Yeah.
And then moving on, obviously, to the final clan option in round 1, Easy Company. Clan or sham?
I really hope no one has tarnished that name, but because it is internet, I'm also going to say that's a clan.
I'm going to say I'm going to say Sham. I'm going to go against the grain here. I don't think there has been a Easy Company in a official PUBG tournament.
Okay, so I will now recap. Sleazy Company, you both said Sham. That is correct.
Yes!
No.
Greasy
Right,
Company, you both said Clan. That is incorrect.
Ah.
So Easy Company then.
And then Easy Company, Ali said Clan, Dream said Sham. Ali is correct.
Fuck yeah,
God
take
damn
that,
it.
Sam, you piece of shit.
So,
well, that's way too obvious.
So
I feel like
it
an
is.
idiot now. I feel like a goddamn idiot rationalizing.
Got my
all of
second win. Let's go.
It is 2-1 going into round 2. Okay.
All right. I'm coming
3
back.
clans. Who are clans? Who are shams? Let's find out. Okay. First one, Viking chickens. Clan or sham?
I'm saying clan. I want
Viking
that to be the clan.
chickens.
So badly.
Can I really quickly, whatever, without knowing the next ones, can I just say sham, and can we just figure out this one really quickly? I'm saying sham.
Okay, so you're going sham?
Yeah.
Okay, next one, Samurai chickens. Clan or sham?
I love it. All right. There's a theme. Okay.
Ali, clan or sham? Samurai chickens.
I kind of want to hear the next one now.
Can we hear the next
Do you
one?
want me to give you the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Final clan or sham in round 2. Ninja chickens.
Do you reckon anywhere right now, someone listening to this pod is like, it's Ninja Chickens, obviously. It's fucking, who doesn't know Ninja Chicken? Like, no one. No one is like, no Ninja Chicken fans out there are like, these guys are idiots.
Come on. Okay, so I'm going to say Samurai Chickens is a sham. But Ninja Chickens
But Ninja
Is a
chickens
clan. You think Ninja
is
Chickens
a
is a
clan.
fucking clan.
Okay, what about you, Dream?
Like, how the hell could you know? I think Viking chickens, I'm very confident that is sham.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is sham. I think Samurai chickens is sham. Ninja chickens, like, you're stealing the chicken dinner away from someone. You ninja'd it. Like, that makes sense to me. Clan? Sham clan.
Okay, so
Sham clan.
recapping these. Viking chickens.
Yeah.
Ali said clan. Dream said sham.
Yeah.
Ali is incorrect.
Yes.
It is a sham clan.
Ooh.
Moving on to samurai chickens. You both said sham. You are both correct.
Yeah.
And then moving on to ninja chickens.
Hell
You
yeah.
both said clan. You are both correct.
Love it. All right, so now we're even, right? We are toe. I was gonna say toe and toe. Toe and toe, neck and neck.
Yeah,
Going
so
into round 3.
it is 6 points apiece going into round 3. Okay, so moving into the third round of Clan or Sham. The 3 clans are Pachinki Monkeys, the Milter Thugs, and the Gatka Goats. Out of those clans, who are Shaman and who are Clanin? Pachinki Monkeys.
I'm going to
Clan or
say they're a
Sham?
clan.
So these are all places in PUBG, right?
Correct.
Pachinki-
They're all
Pachinki?
Pachinki, Milter, Gatka. They're all legitimate places in PUBG. Yeah.
All right, so Pachinki Monkeys, Melto, what?
Milter Thugs and
Milter Thugs?
and the Gatka Goats.
Pachinki Monkeys. I feel like Pachinki Monkeys sounds just too good. That's a clan.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to the Milter Thugs. What do you think?
Ali?
I don't know. Yeah, alright, clan. You know what? I'm going to, just because this is the last round,
Now we've got a double bonus points round at the end.
We've got a
too.
double bonus points round.
All right, okay.
But
well,
it's only one.
You know,
It's only one clan.
I am going to put balls on the wall and say all of them are clans.
Okay.
Thank God you don't have balls, Ali. Why are you
know.
putting them on walls?
Huh?
Why are they on the wall?
I don't know. That's the song.
All right, Look, at least rest
to
them
the
on a
wall.
ledge.
Balls on the wall aside, Dream, what do you think of the Milta Thugs and the Gatka Goats? Milta Thugs first. Are they clan or are they sham?
I'm gonna rest my balls on a ledge here and say that they are a... Shit, I reckon they might be a clan. I'm gonna say sham. I'm gonna say clan.
For Milta Thugs, you're saying clan?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they're not an animal. And I don't think you would have come up with the Melter Thugs.
What about Gatka Goats? Did I come up with both of these or neither of these? What did I do? Who the fuck knows? Because it's 10 in the morning and I'm hungover as fuck.
Clan, Gatka Goats. I'll sign up.
Okay,
If
so
it
you
doesn't
guys have,
exist,
you
I'll
guys
sign
have
up.
gone clan all round. Okay.
Are you going clan all round as well, Ali?
Yeah,
balls
you
to the
guys
wall,
have
man.
both. You guys
Oh,
have both got your
balls are
balls hung in inappropriate locations. So, yeah. Okay, so let's recap: the Pachinki Monkeys, the Milta Thugs, and the Gatka Goats. Straight clan guesses from our two fantastic competitors.
Wait, hold on. I'll go sham on Gatka Goats because I
You
wanna
fucking.
Well, there's got to be. We can't
Ali,
both be on the same number of points going into the final round.
Ali, do you want to pivot and change anything, or are you going to keep them balls firmly on?
They're
the wall?
firmly hung. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Pachinki Monkeys, you both said clan. You both were correct.
Yes, it's a good name. It's just a good name.
The Milta Thugs, you also both said clan. You are both correct.
Mm-hmm.
And moving on to the Gatka Goats, where Miss Ali Hart, with those balls to the wall, said clan. Dream had balls on a windowsill or something, decided to take them off and pivot to sham. And the Dream is correct. Gatka Goats is the sham.
I'm making the Gatka Goats. You can sign up from tomorrow. And it's not going to be a PUBG clan either. It'll just do, I don't know, it'll be a Fortnite clan, just to be ironic.
Okay, so going into the final round, which is double bonus points, I'm only going to mention one clan. You get it right, you get 2 points. You get it incorrect, you lose 2 points. So
Holy
it's
shit.
double jeopardy, or something equally as dramatic. The final clan is Neckbeards United.
Clan.
Neckbeards United. Clan or sham? Answer
Clan.
now.
You were very quick off the mark there. Neckbeards United.
She's getting her second wind.
Do you know this, Ali? You seem very confident.
I know there's a Reddit group.
Called Neckbeards United.
Yeah, I think so.
What the fuck?
There'd be some horrible photos in there.
I don't like this one bit. Ali's got
Dream-
evidence.
Dream, you are
Evidence
currently
correct.
up by 1 point.
Yeah. So if I also say clan, I technically will win either way. But I don't think it's a clan.
Oh yeah, those two.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Good math.
I think. I'm proud that I resisted the urge to say quick math there.
I nearly did too.
Yeah, everyone's over Big Shaq. I want to say sham. Fuck.
You locking in sham?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neckbeards United.
It's just too obvious, you know what I mean?
Miss Ali Hart went with clam. Those balls still firmly on the wall. Salim the Dream Abraham, with the balls now firmly back in his dick stickers, says sham.
Visuals here.
Neckbeards United is, in fact, a clan. Miss Ali Hart
Bullshit.
with the final second maneuver comes in, Stephen Bradbury-esque, some might say, with the
bullshit.
victory.
Oh,
Salim the Dream had it for the taken. But Dream, I will say I respect the fact you didn't just copy
I thought it
Ali's
was a
answer
shame.
and get the W.
Yeah, I thought it was a shame.
I just want to thank my
'Cause
loyal
it's
supporters.
There's been ball tampering here or something. How the fuck did you know that, Ali?
Trust me, being a
Neckbeards
female in
United
the
is a
female in the
clan.
gaming industry, you're very familiar with neckbeards. Sorry.
Touché. Let's unpack that on a future episode of the Hunger Gamers podcast. Okay, so let's pivot into the final segment of what has been a marathon 100th episode of the Hunger Gamers, where we are going to discuss and unpack our 100th review on the 100th episode. Ignore what we said on episode 99, because that was all a lie, and it lines up better on this.
iTunes Review of the Week.
So this review comes to us via way of iTunes listener, Random Letters MS. That's capital MS. Gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I love it.
And the iTunes review headline reads, decent content to pass a workday! Exclamation point. So he's emphasizing the decentness. And what we get. The review reads, guys, need to work on your audio though. Between super quiet to loud noises in very short spaces of time. Feel like a kid again DJing, turning the volume up and down incessantly. Keep up the good work though.
Sorry.
Oh my god, this is so good.
That one was me, guys. Sorry.
So, Random Letters MS. I'd say you could offset a little bit to start with by getting some sweet Audio-Technica headphones. They will definitely improve your audio experience. But
love
yeah,
it.
in all honesty, going remote has brought with it some new gremlins and variables that we are still fine-tuning as we go.
I'm just cursed.
So, probably justified in the review here as far as saying that, because there has been some intermittent audio. But
I totally appreciate
still
our
said the
100th
content was
review.
decent.
Yeah, our 100th review is actually a fucking stab in our side, so I respect that.
No, it's valuable feedback.
It is.
Is what it is.
I mean,
love it though.
I'm doing what I can.
just love the format of the review where it's like decent way to pass the workday. Constructive criticism. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thumbs
love
up,
it.
guys.
This guy. I love you, Random Letters MS.
Yeah.
I wonder what the MS is.
Microsoft.
Microsoft? You reckon Microsoft is hitting us up?
Maybe. Maybe it's Bill Gates sort of just trying to be anonymous, but he's a fan of the show. Who knows?
He's a hung gamer. He's a hung gamer.
Is that what we're calling our fans now? Hung gamers?
They're not 8-Bit Nation anymore. They're hung gamers.
My goodness, that is fantastic. I love that. But yeah, Random Letters MS, thank you for the review. Thank you for, as Dream so eloquently put, that constructive criticism. It was a well-formed review. We love this kind of shit, good, bad, and or otherwise. So keep those reviews coming in for not only the Hungry Gamers, but every podcast in the hashtag 8-Bit Collective, as well as every podcast on your weekly listening rotation. It helps keep the emotional lights on in our hearts and allows us to get up in the morning hungover, as we are right now,
all of
and
us,
sitting in front of microphones to do these things for you lovely people out there in the internets.
We're all collectively fucked up right now.
Really?
We're not doing well.
Yeah, so
we do this for you, hung gamers.
We do. We wouldn't be here without the hung gamers. So I guess we should start transitioning into the goodbyes and thoughts on this 100th episode. Anything you guys wanted to share, even any factoids or any bits of advice you want to throw out there as far as this 100 episode journey before we say goodbye for another week?
Don't plan a recording in the morning after drinking.
That's been my game plan every episode.
It certainly isn't the best thing to do, but I think we've held together pretty well.
Yeah,
we've done good. We've done good here, fam. I just think sort of as a broad blanket statement, we were at sort of a Twitch meetup yesterday and met a fair few lovely individuals, and a lot of them are budding podcasters to be, or content creators to be, but, you know, for one reason or another, they haven't taken that step. And I think the first thing is to take that step. Just lay down some audio, record some gameplay, whatever it is you want to do, just have a go. It might not be
100%.
perfect that first time. You know, our first early episodes were pretty cringy. Now you go back and listen to them, and fuck, our episodes now can be pretty cringy, but you know, you got to have a crack. Press that record button on whatever medium you're trying to potentially conquer it, and give it a go.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Do it 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times until you feel confident to release that out to the world. Get some criticism from your peers. Hell, send some stuff through to us. We'll have a listen or a review and give you our honest thoughts on it. I'm more than happy to share some of our creative process and thought process on your stuff. So just give it a crack.
Yeah. I'll echo that. I think you got to just be comfortable with failure, because it happens. You have to. You know, you don't really learn anything getting things right, but no one ever gets it right the first time. And I think just looking back at when we sort of decided to do this, none of us were any. I don't know that you'd say we're anybody even now in terms of like, you know, being some big personality or whatever, but like we certainly were not doing anything at all at the start of this. And we were putting ourselves out there for the first time, and that was very scary. But it's also something we all wanted to do, and we just decided to do it. And we did put you know, it was, again, I remember sitting around Reese's table in that bloody sweaty, hot mess of a bloody room with you, Brendan, and Reese, and just doing kind of the first recording. And it was a mess, but it was good, and we loved doing it enough to do it again and again and again. And again, I think so long as people are listening, it's worth doing. It is kind of its own reward, and it's fun, and just do it. Just put yourself out there. If it's what you want to do, it's worth doing.
100%. And I just wanted to say thank you to my two very lovely, very hungover co-hosts. We have been riding this wave for 100 episodes. Obviously, we haven't all been on them here or there. You know, work and life and all that stuff takes us away from the microphone sometimes, but it's been a hell of a journey. And I'm extremely proud to be here with you two studs, especially on a Sunday morning, dustier than a dirt road. It's typical Hung Gamers trend to do it this way. Hung Gamers style to be doing it a little bit under the weather and more fast and more loose than ever before. So
wouldn't have it any other
cheers
way.
to you legends for 100 episodes of quality content, and here's to another 100 more. I love you both.
Yeah.
Love you
guys.
Anything else you wanted to say before we say goodbye for now?
Thank you, everyone, is all I say. Thanks to everyone that's listened and supported us. It's crazy, honestly.
Yeah. Ditto. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to having you for the next 100. And thank you. Thank everyone who was on? I think you did, Brendan. Thanks,
we did
everyone
right at the start. Yeah,
joined us for the hundo. We love you as well.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. So until next episode, which is going to be the world first 101st Hunger Games episode. 8-Bit Nation, much love.
Stay hydrated.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.